Hello, welcome back to yoga. For this class, I want to help you learn compass pose. This class will be best post the seated yoga poses class. In order to achieve this pose, it's a really great idea to have your hips and your hamstrings open. So once you've gone through a practice or specific stretches to open up the hamstrings and the hips, also the shoulders we'll be using as well, then you'll be ready to try compass pose. Compass pose is a challenging seated posture that requires a good amount of flexibility in the hamstrings, side body, and shoulders. Also, when we're prepping to open up, we'll be opening the hips as wide as we can to help achieve that pose. This asana is the Sanskrit word for pose. This asana or pose can help to reduce lower back pain by increasing flexibility and allowing for more fluid movement in the lower body. Increasing flexibility reduces tension in the shoulders. So we're going to go through a series of about 7 different steps, and we're going to try on each side and just see what the experience is. Now, if your hamstrings aren't that flexible, then you're going to really want to start with the support of a strap. You might or might not be able to do this without the strap, but I recommend having one just to support you, especially if this is your very first time trying compass pose. So we're going to go ahead and get started on one side. The first step on the first side is to lift your leg. Now, the leg that you lift, take the pinky side edge of that foot, place it to your inner elbow. Now take your other arm around your leg. So this leg is lifted and supported. Now simply rock this leg from side to side, rocking the baby. Notice how this feels for your hip. So we want to do this for several rounds of breath. Next, we'll take our foot. If your hands can reach your foot, you can straighten your leg and then bend your knee. And then try that a couple more times. It's okay if your leg doesn't straighten all the way. If you have trouble getting it straight, this is where you can take the strap to the arch of your foot, grab onto the ends of the strap, and support your leg that way. Just loosening up the hamstring even more post whatever practice or stretches you've done. Again, I recommend the seated yoga class to prep for this one. And once you've opened that up a few times, remove the strap, bend your knee. Take the same side hand to the outside of your foot. Take your other hand to ground down outside the same side hip. Now see about straightening the leg out to the side. And then reach your other hand back. Look back to your thumb. Take one more round of breath here. Bring your back hand forward. Now bend your knee to bring your foot closer. Take the hand that was back to the outside of the foot. Bring the other arm back. Now bring the foot and the leg across the body. See if you can straighten here, and then look back to your back hand. And on your next exhale, slowly unwind back to center. The leg that you have lifted and bent, take the same side hand to the outside of the knee. Other hand is going to ground down just like we did before. Now pull this knee in. Imagine that you're in a seated half happy baby. So think about the knee going wide outside of the ribs rather than into the body. Think about drawing the knee down to go deeper. Now, invite the other hand in to grab the foot while you take your same side arm underneath your knee. I recommend lifting off the hip to really get the back of the knee on the shoulder. Now, once you do this, this is where I suggest starting with the strap. Placing the strap onto your foot. Taking the strap in the opposite hand. Now let this hand ground down and see about straightening your leg. Just noticing how this feels. Maybe you get the leg all the way straight, maybe not, don't worry. And then from here, you're gonna work with bending the knee, working the hand further up the strap as many times as you need to until eventually you come to your foot. So once you feel that you're ready to take your hand to the outside of your foot, and there's no rush, take your time to get there, you're positioning the hand opposite side of the body to the knee and leg that's lifted. The arm that's at the same side of the lifted leg grounds down. Now, with your hand attached to the outside of the foot, you're gonna straighten your leg and then you're gonna look to your tricep. So you're looking away from your leg. Now I'm gonna come out of that side because I've got a shoulder issue on that side, so it doesn't feel good for me to have the tension there. You can stay as long as you'd like, exploring this side leg. Breathe through it. Sometimes when we're doing postures and we're going through a series of steps, we're trying something new, we're thinking so many things that we forget to breathe. So really let yourself breathe. Take your time. If you notice that you're really starting to push yourself and you're feeling tension or pain in any area, then that's an indication to go ahead and come out of it. Remember, we're exploring our practice. We don't want to cause injury. We want to take things step by step, and we want to grow in our practice when our body's ready. We don't want to push too hard, too fast. So coming out of that side whenever you're ready, coming back into your comfortable seat, we're now going to explore the other side. Now we know that the other side may be totally different because we use the sides of our bodies in different ways. We're very asymmetrical. So just be open to the experience of what happens on this side. So the opposite leg lifts up. We take the pinky edge of the foot to the opposite elbow, cradling the foot and the leg. Now, taking the other arm around the leg. We start off by rocking the baby. And as we rock from side to side, we feel both hips grounded in our seat. The leg that we have lifted, we now feel sensation in this hip. And we're letting this side of the body know that we're coming in for the pose. We're gonna go a little bit deeper, but we're gonna do it with care, step by step, always protecting the body. No rush. Now, once we have rocked the baby, we're going to extend the leg forward, take your hands to your foot, practice straightening your leg. Now remember, if you can't reach your foot to straighten your leg, take the strap around the arch of your foot, take the ends of the strap in your hands, and then work with pushing your foot to the strap to straighten your leg. Bend the knee, bring it in towards the body, and then straighten again. So we want to do this a few times. Now, once we've done that with the strap or with our hands, leave the same side hand outside of the foot, pinky side of the foot. Open the opposite arm, twist, and look back to your thumb. Straighten your extended leg as much as possible. And then slowly bring your back arm forward, cross it over, take the outside of the foot, Release your first arm, reach it back, look back to your thumb. Breathe and hold. Feel the stretch. And then bring your hand back to center. Now, if you couldn't do that on this side or either side, don't get discouraged. You can incorporate the strap here as well. So you've got options to work into this pose. Coming out of that, now the leg that you have lifted, same side hand grabs the outside of the foot. Opposite hand grounds down. Take your seated half happy baby, pulling your knee in and out. So rather than into the body, knee is coming outside of the ribs. Once you pull the knee in, then focus on grounding the knee down. Think about pointing the knee down as the sole of the foot points up. All right, we're ready to progress. Now, take your opposite hand to grab onto your foot to keep this leg lifted so that you can bring the same side shoulder underneath your knee. I recommend lifting the hip, bringing the arm to the inside, and then wiggling your knee underneath. Now remember, here we might want to start with the strap. Taking one end of the strap to the foot, grounding down same side arm, and then pulling the strap with your arm to straighten this leg. Okay, now as we try that the first time, then we notice if we want to try a second time, taking our hand further up the strap towards the foot. Always grounding down the opposite arm. Maybe we can go a little deeper. It's helpful for me to bring my arm above my head or my head underneath my arm. Now, after trying that a couple times, then you can decide when you're ready to grab onto the foot with your hand. So the hand that's opposite side of the body of the foot comes to the outside of the foot. Take your hand underneath as we set up before, and then slowly start to straighten your leg, and then gaze up and away from this leg. Breathe through it. If you flex your foot, you'll get a deeper stretch for your hamstring, but don't push yourself. Slowly bend your knee. Slowly come out when you're ready. That's compass pose. Anytime you want to practice this posture, you can come back to this video, go through all the steps. Just remember to try this pose at the end of your practice once your hips and your hamstrings and your shoulders are ready to try this. Thanks for trying this with me today. I'll see you next time. Bye.